Tonight on First Tuesday. On the trail of the British burglar.
You're under arrest for a number of burglaries.
Burglary, like, it would be my work because I haven't got a job, a normal job. Instead of burgling, so that'd be my work.
Good evening. If you haven't been burgled yet, you're lucky. It's Britain's fastest growing crime, and it causes insurance companies to pay out £1 million a day. But no money can compensate for the loss of precious family mementos or the feeling of being unsafe in one's own home. There's no easy cure for the great British burglary.
Strangers have been in here and they've got in the back. And I live here myself and it's terrifying. This was just a mess. Everything's just destroyed. It's can't believe it. My telly, my video, and my jewellery's away as well, my jewellery box. I've got my mum's engagement ring, which is irreplaceable. And she gave it to me and it's away. And just other bits and pieces that I've saved over the years. It's away.
I opened the door and this boy just walked straight in past me. It got me then in the passageway. I knew I was trapped. This was locked and that was locked. And then I didn't feel very happy. He grabbed me by my arm here and he was very, very strong. He held me tight and so it has bruised my arm. And he said, "Sit down on the bed, on the side of the bed." So of course I sat down on the side of the bed. And he opened all the dressing table drawers, felt all through them everywhere. I said, "There's nothing in there, son, there's only clothes." And he said, "Where's your pension book?" I said, "I don't have a pension book." "Don't tell me effing lies," he said. And then he turned up the mattress on my bed at the bottom, and he walked along the bed, looked down the side, took the pillow off, turned the top mattress up, looked under all that. So there was nothing there, so there's nothing there.
If you just try not to touch anything, just for the time being, because our fingerprint man's going to come.
They've been up there.
Right.
But obviously I shut it.
Yeah, not to worry, I can do that. That's obviously where they've come in.
That's where they've come in.
Does it look as though they've been all around the house?
Yeah, I would say so. I haven't been on the top floors, I just said, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm dreading this ring has gone, that's why I didn't.
Yeah, all right, don't worry, it's all right. This is your third burglary.
Third.
So your last one was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And the first one would have been 3
The
years
year
ago?
before, yeah, 3 years. Seem to know, don't we? Somebody must be keeping an eye out, don't you think?
No.
I mean, how is it?
No, it's very rare that happens, but I wouldn't worry about that. The times that people watch you are very few and far between. They really are. I mean, they've entered your home, they've invaded your home. Don't let them ruin your life now.
It's already ruined. That's twice. I mean, I've been dreading going out, funnily enough, out shopping since I got that television. Because I managed with a portable before that, and I thought, well, I'll get a new one, you know.
Are you insured? Will you be able to replace them?
Can't afford the insurance.
So you've no form of insurance then at all?
No.
What have you taken, very much?
My video, got into my bedroom, my watch and a couple of rings. That's as far as I know.
Can we go inside and have a look? I'll just follow you.
Great.
Oops.
It's just the thought of being in, you know, when I've been out.
Well, I mean, your eternity ring, I mean,
I was 20-year-old. I mean, you know, God, like the first year of our marriage, like, you know, I mean, that's gone. I'll probably never say that again. I mean, I suppose that's, you know, I mean, that's sentimental, I suppose, you know, when you think about it. And 21 years, 20 years you've had it, and it takes them 20 minutes to pinch it, like, you know, that sort of thing. That's what annoys me. It really does annoy me. That, you know, I feel quite sick about it. I mean, I honestly never thought I'd feel like this. I didn't. I was lost for words, really.
There's a domestic burglary in Britain every minute of the day. 500,000 homes broken into this year. As many again go unreported. Statistically, better off areas are least likely to be affected. It's the inner city areas which fare the worst, particularly in times of recession. Newcastle's West End is no exception.
Last year, this subdivision had in the region of 2,700 burglaries. I think that averages out at around about 60 a week. At times, it feels like being in the fire service, where you're just attending one call and then moving on to the next one. The south side of the West End slopes gently down to the River Tyne. That's the poorer area. Most of the housing is owned by the local authority. The figures clearly show that it's the poorer areas of the city where the highest rate of burglaries occur, and consequently it's the people with the least who are having the most stolen. Some areas, such as this one we're in at the moment, which is Benwell, which has a high degree of unemployment, and obviously as unemployment becomes rife, so the need and desire for money increases, and crime appears to be the easy alternative.
7950.
Dogs. Steady on.
Come in.
Hello. You're reporting a burglary? Yeah? And what have they stolen? Anything? A cooker? So you've been out for a quarter of an hour and that's when it's happened?
15 minutes.
Right. How old are you, please?
Pardon?
How old?
I'm 39.
You working at the moment?
No, I can't work. I've got asthma.
Right.
I just turned around and says I've notified the police and I'm waiting for the police coming.
Right. So when I've taken this report, you can have a look in some of the outhouses, see if it's in there.
Because I'll be honest, they couldn't have carried it far.
Yeah.
Because it was really heavy.
Right.
When I came in, I couldn't understand when I seen her stand at the door and there and I seen the big crowbar and I couldn't really understand what had happened.
So you've obviously had the mortise part of the lock on, and they've basically just damaged the frame by hoofing the door in.
I want a new door.
Yeah, well, we'll get that sorted out with the council very shortly. I'll get them to come round and fix your door for you. You've obviously just forced it with this thing here.
Claim number 648, sir.
Are you frightened that they might come back?
Right.
Linda Hops will probably never know who burgled her house. Newcastle police, faced with a surge in inner city burglaries, must increasingly choose which cases warrant further investigation. 90% of burglaries in Britain result in no prosecutions.
These are the people who we know are committing the burglaries. They know we know they're committing the burglaries. They're all one large team. They've all started when they're in their early teens, some of them even younger. And as they've progressed and got older, they've become more adept at burgling houses. Most of these chaps steal electrical items. It's reputed that they steal them to order. So if you wanted a video recorder, they would find out what kind you wanted, and they would burgle a house where they knew that there was a video recorder. This chap here, in particular, he's probably the most prolific house burglar that we have in this subdivision. He started when he was 12. His elder brother at that time was into house burglary, and obviously the elder brother tutored him. And now, as I say, he is probably the most adept out of the people you see here.
Dearbolt Young Offenders Institution in County Durham. Many of its inmates are prolific burglars. The typical British burglar is male, and from a working class background. Average age, 15. $80,000 of them go through the courts each year, as many again go undetected.
Sometimes I've been out 7 days a week doing it. I know I've done a lot of burglaries in the past. About 400, 500, 600 burglaries in the past. But like, I haven't been caught for all them. I did about 130, 140 last year. But like, I've only been caught for about 16 of them. So they don't catch you all the time, really.
I've done a fair few thousand, I would say. A load. I used to do them every night when I was 16 and 17 and 18. Then I started slowing down on burglaries when I was like 19. And I've just started coming back at them again, so I must have done my fair few burglaries.
Burglary, like, it would be my work because I haven't got a job, a normal job, instead of burgling, so that'd be my work. But like, we don't call it work, we'll call it a graft. Like, I were to go out grafting.
The typical British burglary is staged during working hours while the householder is out. The favourite time is around 3 in the afternoon. Burglars rarely cause deliberate damage. Usually, it's all over within 5 minutes.
The best time to go burgling, which I think's the best time, is around winter time, because it goes dark at 4 o'clock at night, and you can be walking about, you can see an house with no alarm on it, and the lights aren't on, so you know no one's in. You knock on the door, no one's in, and you go in, and take what you want and then go.
You don't need any specific tools, mainly a screwdriver. That'll get you into most dwelling houses. Preferably, the house has got to be on the land, semi-detached, with a back garden, so it's dark, so you can't be seen from the other houses. Make your way around the back. It's better if it's patio doors, but with windows are easy as well. Just get a screwdriver, insert it in the patio doors, just rip it up, and you break the lock, and just open the patio doors and you're in.
I took the back window out with my screwdriver, and there was no one there. So I climbed in, and it was all dark in the house. I said to my mate, I says, if anyone comes, tell me and then you run. But like, he didn't tell me, and I picked the video up, and I turned around and the bloke who owned the house was there. So I had to drop the video.
As I peeped through, he was there, right in the corner, flattened to the side of the wall, turning his head away from me so I couldn't see his face, but I could almost reach him. I said to him, either, come out now, you bastard, or else I'm going to kill you.
And I stood at the side of curtains, and like, he come in and he chased me out the settee.
I thought I had him cornered, but he took off across the lounge, knocked the settee flying, and promptly dived through my front lounge window.
And like, I jumped through the window, but like, the window didn't smash, it just flung open.
The window flew up in the air, and he ended up draped upside down in the rose bushes outside. I reached through and just got his hat in my hand. He slipped out of my grasp again. He flung himself over the front privet edge, landed on the road. His mates were waiting for him with the engine revving in this getaway car they had. They pulled him in just as I arrived to the car, and off they rode down the road.
I'm like, they got me for me hat because me hat had my name on it. So that's how they caught me for that one.
Afterwards, the same night, I didn't go to bed. I repaired the hole in the window as best I could myself, but I didn't go to bed. I sat up all night. I couldn't sleep at all. And I made my mind up there and then that I couldn't stop there any longer.
Most burglars say they prefer not to break into houses with alarms, but the police acknowledge that even the youngest burglars can defeat security systems.
As technology advances in relation to combating of crime, the burglar's ability to combat the technology and overcome it increases as well. And even what's more surprising is the youthfulness of the children, virtually, who can work out how to combat alarm systems, defeat them, and carry out quite sophisticated burglaries. Just simple thing like foaming up an alarm box will eliminate the sound. Cutting a telephone wire into the premises will eliminate the call going through for the alarm having been activated. They know this, they do it fairly frequently. So alarm companies are now trying to combat that.
And while alarm manufacturers are seeking to improve their technology, the burglars are improving theirs.
Perhaps the most serious problem in relation to technology that we have is with the introduction of radio scanners. This may look like a police radio, but it's not. It's a scanner which can tune into all police frequencies and all emergency service frequencies. They can tell exactly when a call's been made by the police in relation to their activities, and off they go.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't say you lived here, innit?
Hello? Anyone home?
South Yorkshire Police on a raid for stolen goods.
Bingo. We've got what appears to be some sort of computer equipment and a CD player. Boy, keeps the clock in the airing cupboard. What else haven't you checked?
Just looking through this Filofax thing.
Find anything else?
Yeah, tally in the kitchen. Had the plate taken off it.
Again, what we're looking for is any serial marks that have been erased.
They've all got proper serial marks on.
This one hasn't. There doesn't appear to be any markings on this either.
Might as well take them all down to the station.
We're going to need a transit. We'll leave the pickaxe handle. We obviously...
Where's that?
It was in the corner. It's something that we have to deal with every day now.
Electronical goods are the best things to take from houses: videos, TVs, Wi-Fi systems. They're quite easy to get rid of. Jewellery, obviously, is one of the best, and money. But electric goods is always the best.
This is all the stuff that's come back.
I'll tell you what I think the best thing to do is you shout out and I'll write it down.
Go on then.
Yeah?
Right, I'll start with this bike then.
Less than 5% of stolen goods are ever returned to their owners. Instead, they're offered for sale on the black market, in pubs, at car boot sales, and in second-hand shops.
Yep.
Can't see a number at the moment. I'll try and get the things with serial numbers on. This is a Sony Walkman.
That's a nice one.
Pretty decent.
The miniaturization of electrical goods makes them increasingly easy to carry away.
Yep.
193990. So we should be able to find that one on the index.
What about CD player?
Right, that's a... And this one, a Sony.
Insurance companies pay out £1 million on losses of stolen property every day of the year.
50,
Charlie, Foxtrot.
yeah, Delta.
Yeah.
50 Lima. That also may have a serial.
Portable music centres and video systems have overtaken television sets as the most popular targets for burglars.
For a slimline video, I'll get about 100 or 120 if it's a good make. For an FST flat screen, about 120 to 150, depends what kind of screen it is. For a microwave, about 70 to 50 pound. Solar dish, we'll never take them, no one ever gets them. They're not worth taking.
Jewellery, obviously, different prices, £3 for a gram for gold.
For a checkbook, you get about 10 a page if you've got the card with it. But like on some burglaries, we take the checkbooks ourselves and do them in ourselves.
16-year-old Adam used to be a burglar. Now he claims to earn £400 a week as a fence.
It's less hassle, isn't it? Like, a lot less risk. Well, because you don't have to go out and, like, look suspicious, be suspicious, and do, like, things that bring it on top. I'd ask people if they'd, like, get me, say, a video camera, for example. I'd tell them how much I'd pay for it. And they'd say yes or no, and then if not, I'd go and ask someone else, but people do still like to order. Well, I had a slimline remote control video that I'd expect, well, that I paid £40, £50 for. And like, I'd expect to get about 80, 90, £100 on that. I had a portable telly, with teletext, remote control that was I paid £60 for that, and I'd expect to get about 80, 90 on it. The telephone was chucked in. I'd expect to get £30, £40 for that. And the camera, I'd expect to get £50, £60 for. It was a pretty modern camera.
It's very difficult to know what the police can do because the results of research show that they're generally fairly limited in affecting the burglary rate beyond its current levels. Research that has looked into the impact of increasing the number of foot patrols, for example, or the police involving in collaboration with crime prevention methods, have found that generally the burglary rates of the areas have remained relatively unchanged. The research that's looked into saturation patrols and arresting more offenders have found that where offenders have been arrested in bulk, that burglary rates can temporarily fall.
This morning is a follow-on operation from Operation Bumblebee, of which you'll all be aware, the attack on burglars in this particular area. There are 6 subjects concerned in this morning's exercise. Subject 1 is a prolific burglar in the northeast London area. He's been of interest to us for some considerable time. The addresses have been looked at overnight and all appears that the occupants are in place. At some of the addresses, you may meet some resistance. I do not want you to in any way refer to any name here, either over the radio or elsewhere. The reason for that is we have every reason to believe that they are monitoring the police frequency. In early arrests, the latter part of last week, we recovered 5 scanners where they were monitoring our network. There is a search warrant for each address issued under the Theft Act. Each one of these addresses must be searched, and I don't care if you're there all day. We don't want to walk out of there wondering if we've left something behind. So if it means taking carpets and floorboards up, if we think things are concealed, then so be it.
This car is parked in the car park. I've just had a look at it, and it's parked next to a Luton box van. It might be that the Luton box van, he might have the keys. We're interested in that.
In 10 weeks of saturation policing in North and East London, Operation Bumblebee has netted over 600 suspected burglars for the Metropolitan Police.
Hello, police. From King's Cross Road Police Station. I'm sorry.
We have to come in, I'm sorry.
Can you just wait till I put my house coat on? By all means, I'll keep the door open if you don't mind. What are you for, anyway?
We've got
a warrant to search the address. You're under arrest for a number of burglaries. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. Anything you say, we'll put in writing.
Stand by the fucking door, I ain't going nowhere. There's nowhere to go. We're 12 floors up, mate. People wandering around here. I'm not going to jump fucking 12 floors.
Right, what I want to do now is start the search. So I'll start in this room, but we'll be doing the whole flat. OK? What we're looking for is mobile phones, televisions, video recorders, checkbooks, credit cards, jar checks, jewellery and cash.
This man is now serving a 9-month prison sentence for burglary. This man, currently serving 3 years for burglary, is temporarily on his way out.
Hello, Pete. Detective Sergeant Dick Venables from Sheffield. DC Roy Womack. OK.
OK, thank you.
Thanks very much, anyway.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
OK, right.
Not too tight?
No, it's all right. OK, then. You going to be OK with your jacket on? Come to think.
Take it off and
Jenny, you all right for the time being?
That's calm.
OK, you'll be aware that arrangements have been made to produce you at Sheffield for a couple of days to assist in our investigation into a series of burglaries there. Before we go, I've got to tell you that you don't have to say anything unless you wish to do so, but what you say may be given in evidence. You understand that?
Yeah.
The prisoner has told police he'll admit to a series of burglaries that he's never been charged with. In return, he expects to clear his record with no further punishment. This system, known as prison write-offs, is increasingly used by police to clear up unsolved crimes.
I miss Sheffield, you know. Sorry?
I miss it.
You miss Sheffield? Well, of course you will.
I used to walk for miles and miles some days and just clock all the houses and watch for people coming out, and if they come out, I used to just go and knock on the door, make sure nobody's in. If they were in, I'd just say, does Mike live here? And they'll say, no, I'm sorry, I've got the wrong address. And if they weren't in, I'd get in, and I'd ransack the privacy.
Is the road?
Yeah, this is the one, yeah.
The one here?
Yeah.
Hawley Street?
Yeah. It's on your right-hand side.
What we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this tour out here so you can point out these premises. And what we're going to do, we're going to have this to then Roy will have to make a written record. How did you break into these premises?
I just popped the window, my elbow.
What did you take?
Checkbooks and Filofax and credit cards.
So where was the property?
It was on the windowsill.
Why did you pick this particular house?
I was just walking past one morning and I just happened to see a Filofax in the window. It weren't really premeditated, it was just opportunity.
Okay.
Almost as many burglaries are now cleared up by prison write-offs as are solved by conventional detection. Some senior officers are unhappy with this development.
Officers go to prison, interview people at their behest, and they clear the slate, and nothing happens to them. Although the fence is going as detections. But of course, that doesn't help anyone, really, at the end of the day. And whilst it's within the rules, there's nobody bending any rules, it really does put a false figure on what is actually a detection rate.
I believe that prison write-offs are a very legitimate source of detections for a number of reasons. The victim has a right to know who's broken into their house and to derive some satisfaction from the fact that they are serving a prison sentence currently. I think that's quite important because I believe victims have rights as well. Secondly, it's a very valuable source of information for the police if we access that information into our computer, and it gives us the patterns and it enables us to use that intelligence in crime pattern analysis.
I agreed to tell the police because I was frightened for when I got discharged out of prison that they could come and rearrest me for the jobs I'd done. If I don't clear my books when I come out, I'll always have something hanging on my shoulder. If you can pull in here, right, behind...
To the left?
Yeah.
The main problem is the public expectation from us in respect to burglary dwelling offences. They're conditioned really by police soaps and that sort of programme to expect a quick result, an easy result within half an hour, and reality, unfortunately, is not like that. If we don't get someone arrested at the scene, or we don't get some good forensic evidence, or some sort of witness who's seen something that's relevant to us, then we do start to struggle.
I've never been caught by fingerprints or police detection. It's always by somebody else grassing me up.
You know where you are, yeah?
Yeah, turn left. Turn left. Straight on. Straight on. That's the house.
Just hold up there, right?
That's the house.
Do you want, can you spin round then? That may be a little bit easier, I think.
Traffic.
So you're indicating the stone-coloured building there?
Yeah.
With the black
guttering,
eaves,
yeah.
Black eaves and guttering. Right. If we just pull up outside then.
Yeah, that's the house.
When did you break into this house?
Late 1988.
How did you break in?
There were louver windows what I pulled out and I climbed through. They're around the other side. You can't actually see them from here.
Why did you attack this particular house then?
So I saw the occupant going out at the time I was walking past.
What did you take?
Took checkbook, credit cards, some French francs, some jewellery, saxophone.
Proper saxophone?
Yeah.
Was that saxophone?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah. Most of the houses I've done, I've seen the occupants, know what they like and that. I was scared once when I did a job. The occupants come back. I had to do one sharpish. I'd do anything to get away. Punch him, hit him with something. You'd have to because you'd be spending a lot of time in prison if you got caught.
In Sheffield, the latest police initiative against burglars. A team of detectives working exclusively on burglaries.
Hello?
Thank you. Hello, from
Hello.
Woodseat CID.
Right.
Hello there.
Hello, come
It's
in.
Wallace. And how do you feel now? Do you feel okay?
Oh, I'm a bit shaken.
Yeah.
It's a shock to come home and find your front door open.
Of course
you know.
it is.
Yes, yes.
Is that the door that was open, the front one? And,
That door was open.
unlocked?
It was
And,
wide open.
yes,
yes, and I thought my husband had come home early.
Yeah.
Well, I looked in here and saw the video gone, and then went to see, saw the microwave had gone.
Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to wait the minute because we want our fingerprint officer to come and have a good look round.
We decided to police burglaries quite differently last year. The reason was, in 1990, we suffered a 40% increase in burglaries in dwelling houses. Traditionally, whoever's been available has gone to the scene of a burglary. We decided that to bring some sort of professionalism and continuity to the investigation of burglaries, we would initiate a special team of detectives who would investigate nothing else but the burglaries.
Just that one drawer
Yes.
was open?
And that.
And
I
that
don't
one.
think there's anything gone out of there.
Right. I noticed downstairs you've got a chequebook at the side of you.
Yes.
Are your chequebooks, credit cards all intact?
My credit cards were with me at school.
Right. And what about your chequebooks?
There doesn't look to be any more out, but I will check that
Right.
through the serial
Yeah.
numbers.
Have they been in the other rooms?
Yes, they've been in here. That was shut, sort of opened that.
What sort of stuff do you keep? It's just personal things in here, is it?
I do keep jewellery in here, but it's not here. It's not in this part. I keep
Right.
it in silly places, which they haven't found.
Seems to have paid off, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. That
Right.
was a tie pin that my son got for his 18th birthday. I do
Yeah.
know that was in there.
Can you tell from the shape of those marks?
Yeah, but you can see, if you look at that, you can see the little triangular.
Yeah,
pattern
that's it.
From the file
Yeah,
itself.
that's the file. And there again.
Yeah.
Right. Will you be able to do anything with that?
No.
Doubtful.
Not really.
Right.
I'll put that away on one side so
That was
excuse me, Dennis.
Is this yours?
Yes, I've just got it down to have a picture of the clock.
Is it in here?
No, but
Or is
it's,
something
it's a
similar?
big thing like that. It's green ormolu with pillars on either side,
Did
and it's
you
very heavy.
You say it's got an inscription?
Yes.
What's that say?
I can't remember.
Have you got
I
a
don't know
photograph or anything of it?
No, I haven't. That's what made me look up here.
Yeah.
But my husband will know it's either to King or Gillespie, the Lord Provost of Motherwell in Scotland. And
Right.
that was on it.
Did you
I
say you
haven't-
had the instructions for the microwave?
I think I might have, yes.
Yep.
Despite this specialised approach, the Sheffield police have not yet been able to catch more burglars.
I don't like burglars, or I don't let that come across when I'm talking to them, because they do have certain rights and we have to talk to them. They are people after all. But the particular burglar I don't like is the type who thinks he's got a right to go in somebody's house and take their property, and he thinks he's got that right because he hasn't got a job or because he's had a poor childhood or some other excuse that he comes up with, which doesn't hold any water with me. I don't think that gives him any rights whatsoever to go in people's houses.
They're not all bad. There's a lot of good in these people. Most of them see it as a way of life. They don't believe that there's any other option open to them. Many of them can't get a job. Many of them are on social security and find that they can't survive sufficiently.
At one time, I used to get frustrated more than depressed by the fact that we'd spent a lot of time and effort catching somebody, putting him before the courts, and then they just let him go. But it seems to be that's the rule these days, and the person getting locked up is the exception. That's what it seems like. I don't know what the figures, whether the figures support that.
How true is this popular police perception? This month, statisticians from Newcastle University in a study with Northumbria Police have completed an analysis of how many times people offend on bail.
Well, the results are now to hand, and quite frankly, they confirm all of our worst suspicions. In the eyes of the public, they will be devastating. In the eyes of anyone who is concerned with intolerable levels of crime, the figures are most revealing. And what it shows that approximately 1 arrest in 4 is already on bail. About 38% of all crime is committed by people on bail. House burglaries, 50% of all house burglaries are committed by people on bail.
I've been bailed a few times from police station, and like I've reoffended and I've gone back, and then like they've remanded me to courts and I've got the bail off the courts next day, and then I've reoffended again, and I've still got bail off the courts, and then I've reoffended again and I've been remanded.
Got out of the police station, and that night I've went on fuller and I've went back burgling again. I've been caught again for burgling like a month later, and I'm still on a charge for another burglary. They took us to court in the morning, and the courts give us bail from there to stay in like through the dark nights, and which like I've taken their notice. I've went back out burgling.
The research shows that some people have been arrested many, many times, 10, 20 times for crime before getting a custodial sentence.
I'll get my solicitor down, and then like I'll deny it all, and then like I'll ask for a private consultation with my solicitor, and I'll just say, have they got me for it? And like he'll either say, well, they've got your fingerprints, but like they can't get you on your fingerprints because there's not enough prints there, or else like he'll say, well, they've got your ear. So like I'll just admit it, but if they haven't got me, and I know they haven't got me, I'll just keep denying it, and then I'll get Part 4 bail.
In my view, any sentence other than a custodial sentence for the prolific thief is a waste of time, and it will just delay inevitably his ultimate time when he will get a custodial sentence, but by that time many hundreds of crimes have been committed. What I would like to see is an amendment perhaps to the Bail Act and the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, which gives the court and the police the ability to remand a person in custody once they have reoffended on bail.
We found from our own research that offenders were not particularly affected by the possible threat of being convicted and sent to prison. In fact, there's a possibility that sending offenders to prison might have the opposite to a deterrent effect, inasmuch as in prison or in youth custody, the offenders meet other offenders of their own kind and exchange stories. And many offenders we spoke to said that they'd learnt more about burglary as a result of going into prison or youth custody than they knew before.
I've been caught about 10 times for burgling. When I get out of here, I'll probably go back to burgling because that's the only thing I know. I've never had a proper... Well, I've had a couple of proper jobs, but burglary is one of the best I've had.
As burglary rates escalate, can the trend be reversed? 5 years ago, Kirkholt Estate in Rochdale was one of the most burgled places in Britain. Every year, 1 home in 4 was burgled.
Hi children, how are you? Lovely. Right.
Now, crime prevention begins in the local primary school.
Of what community is?
Crime prevention.
Well, that's what I do, is crime prevention, isn't it? But the idea we want is community. Now, what sort of crimes do you think there are on Kirkholt?
Burglary.
Burglary, yeah. That young lady at the back.
Robbed.
You got robbed. And what does that mean? What happened?
They broke in and took loads of stuff.
What sorts of things did they take?
Like the telly.
They took your TV? You have a video? Did they take that as well? And how did that make you feel?
Upset because I couldn't watch telly.
But education is just part of the project being run by the Probation Service, police and local authority for Kirkholt's 9,000 residents.
Your friends who live around your house, look after it for you.
The Home Office-funded programme focuses first on the scene of a crime. In this case, 2 days after Agnes Sidebottom's burglary.
Right, Mrs. Sidebottom, where did they get in?
At this side window here.
This one here?
Yes, that one. But there's no marks on the frame, is there?
No, they just bent the window. The
Yeah.
frame will give you, see there. But what we'll do, we'll put a lock on, it'll lock the frame to your window there. And you should be okay then. Right, we'll sort that out for you. And we'll do your doors as well at the same time.
Oh, very
Okay,
good.
love.
Save me some worry anyway.
For just £5, the householder can have special locks fitted to doors and windows. All coin-operated meters have been removed from the estate. valuable property is marked with an ultraviolet pen.
Putting the catch plate on here now. When this is on your windows, it'll be secure, you see, they won't get in now with this.
They won't get in at all.
No. Well, I'm not saying they won't get in at all.
They'll have a struggle.
It makes the job harder for them.
The neighbourhood home watch, usually confined to safer middle-class areas, is now working successfully on a council estate.
This doesn't mean that we've turned ourselves into some sort of mythical Coronation Street, because people still have rivalry, they still dislike each other in exactly the same way as they do in every community. But what it does mean within particular small geographical areas that people recognise as their own, they look after each other with regard to domestic burglary.
The estate has also set up a successful credit union to prevent debt amongst residents and to remove reasons for crime. Even so, with worsening recession and unemployment, Kirkholt should be expecting rising burglary rates.
I would have predicted that rise to have been very dramatic. The burglary rate now is lower than it was in 1986. The unemployment rate is higher.
In those 5 years, burglaries have been reduced from 1 house in 4 to 1 in 17.
What we've found is that the areas around Kirkholt have had a reduction in burglary rates as well. What that tells us is that we haven't just pushed it out onto our borders and other communities have suffered. We've quite possibly benefited the communities around us.
This month, a Home Office commissioned report recommends that the Kirkholt scheme should become a blueprint for crime prevention throughout the country, on the grounds that it's the cheapest and best way of combating burglary and the trauma it causes.
Before this happened, I was all right. I mean, I felt when I came in the house, closed my door, that was me. Nobody could touch me, I was safe. I mean, I just hope to God they didn't know me. You know, I'm just a stranger to them. You know, I couldn't stay here, not on my own. No chance. I mean, coming in, I just don't feel safe. Oh yeah, it's not my safe haven anymore, it's not my home. I can't call it my home.
It isn't a pleasant experience, and it isn't something you want to happen ever a second time, because things are very different to what they were in our day. We're different with it, dealing with a different type of boy and everything.
Scum. Scum. Can't think of anything else. Lowest of the low, I think, people like that. Even, I don't care if they've got no money, they're out of work or what. They just don't do things like that to people. Don't care how desperate they are, you don't do things like that. Not decent human beings as far as I'm concerned.
I've been inside. Like, for 3 Christmases, the 3 what have just passed, I've been inside for all them. And I've been inside all my niece's birthdays, and she's 3. I've been inside 3 of my sisters, and 3 of mine, and 2 of my mums. And I was inside when my granddad died just before Christmas. So, like, I've been inside a long time, really. But, like, this Christmas, I'm hoping to be out. If I get out, get a job, and if I can stick the job, I won't come back in. Because I know I can say, no, I'm not going to come back inside when I'm in here now. But, like, when I go out, and I'm going to think, oh, I need some money, and I'll go and do a burglary, and I'll get caught, or else I won't get caught, and then, like, I'll do another. Won't get caught, do another.
You'll survive a burglary. After all, it's not the end of the world. The problem is to stop it happening again. A new Home Office report says that crime prevention should be the responsibility of local authorities working with the police. It recommends a community-based approach like that at Kirkholt, ranging from neighbourhood watch schemes to measures tackling the drug or debt-related reasons for local crime. This latest report was presented to ministers last week. Its recommendations would cost money. It remains to be seen if they'll be implemented. Until October, good night.